Sorry. First time.
Oh, dito nagkuha na sila. Yes, kasi.
Ada. Make sure.
Okay, we're live.
Sugod pa kung hindi sugod mo. Hindi mo rin mo. May salamat po. Delay. Delay. Ipasok mo na. Okay na, dami na.
Morning, everyone. Good morning, viewers. So we are ready for the pre-conference procurement of civil works and invitation to be number 2024-026. For two projects. So we are live via YouTube in compliance to Department Order Number 6, Series of 2024 for transparency of procurement practices. So may we request the Secretariat to call a roll, acknowledge guests present.
Good morning, each and everyone. Acknowledging the presence of the attendees for today's procurement activity, which is the pre-bid conference for civil works. Today, September 5, 2024. We have here our back chairperson, Madam Catherine M. Sanria. Via Zoom, our vice chairperson, Engineer Rico R. Rubin.
Present.
Our back member, Engineer Carlo Antonio P. Guzman. From back secretariat, headed by Engineer Maria Shelby S. Hukia, present, together with Ma'am Lucena M. Garma. From TWG, Ma'am Ivy L. Betania, and Mr. Archelito P. Serpo. We also have here our planning and design section representative, Engineer Alexandrio M. Del Fierro, together with Foreman Chester Orozco. That's all, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am. The presence of the back chairperson, vice chairperson, and the majority of the back members present, I hereby declare a quorum and call this meeting in order. So we have here present of agenda for pre-bid conference. Any addition from the body? First not. So there any motion to adopt this agenda?
I move for the adoption of the agenda of this pre-bid conference.
I second the motion.
And by Engineer Guzman and seconded by Engineer Ben, and with no objection, the motion to adopt this agenda is hereby approved. So first, in the order, we have brief presentation of explanation of the back of the following. We have here basic contract data, including contract duration, description, ABC and duration, the requirements of bidding documents, documents to be submitted, the technical component and the financial, and criteria and procedure for eligibility check to be viewed via audio visual. So before we first capture the basic contract data for the planning and design section to be read.
Sure. Morning, sir and ma'am. Davao de Oro First District Engineering Office. For the name of contract, construction of multipurpose building, Municipal Hall, Nabunturan, Davao de Oro. Contract ID number 24LA0129. Location, Nabunturan, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, construction of municipal building with the following provisions. Number 2, reinforced concrete works, partial. 3, septic vault, and number 4, structural steel, partial. Approved budget of the contract is 39,600,000. Source of fund, February 2024, GAA-CSSP-VIP. Contract duration, 267 calendar days. Size range, medium A. License category, cost of B documents, 25,000. So this is the vision map of the project. Vicinity map, it is beside DPWH. The site development plan. And perspective adopted from Nabunturan Municipal Engineer's Office. So this is the ground floor plan. Second floor plan. Third. And plan. So this is the work of the project. So part of it is the and the ground floor slab and the steel frameworks for the second floor. So this is the foundation plan. And second floor framing plan. Geotag photos.
Name of Sibunga, Nabunturan, Davao de Oro. Contract ID number 24LA0130. Location, Nabunturan, Davao de Oro. Scope of works, construction of reinforced concrete revetment, construction of rotary block for backflow protection, installation of mattresses with filter cloth for scar protection. Budget for the contract, 49 million pesos. Fund FY 2024 GAA-C-VIP. Contract duration 201 calendar days. Size range medium A. License B. Cost of bid document 25,000 pesos. Location map of the project. Vicinity map of the project. Typical detail of the project. Geograph photos. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, planning section representative, for your detailed presentation and explanation of the your
Okay na po ba yung mga ginawa ninyo? Okay na po. Nag-appear po ba dun sa website? And as you can see din, no, pag nilagay yung mga mobile phone nyo, wala po sa gallery yung mga photos, right? So, hindi nyo magagawin po dun sa mobile app natin. So, unlike the other mobile application na ginagamit sa department, so, nakupunto na yung spaces ng
Okay, we will proceed for all the requirements of the bidding documents. The prescribed policy to be viewed via audiovisual. Go.
Requirements of bidding documents. All documents required, including the instructions to bidders, the general conditions of contract, special condition of contract, specifications, drawings, bill of quantities, and forms, such as bid securities, are all uploaded to PhilJep's website and our website at the DPWH. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders from the procurement unit at the DPWH Davao de Oro 1st DEO Nabunturan Davao de Oro and upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding documents. It may also be downloaded free of charge from the website of the Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System, PhilJeps, and the website of the procuring entity, provided that bidders shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding documents not later than the submission of their bids. Documents to be submitted by the bidder. The following documents should be included by the interested bidders in their bids. For the technical component of the bid, A. Eligibility documents such as PhilJep's certificate. B. PCAB license and registration. C. Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, SLCC only. NFCC computation and statement of total assets and total liabilities. D. Joint venture agreement, if applicable. E. Technical documents such as bid security. Project requirements such as the organizational chart for the contract. List of contractors' personnel, list of major equipment, and omnibus statement, which is 10 items. For financial component of the bid, A. Bid form. B. Bid prices and the bill of quantities. C. Detailed estimates, including a summary sheet indicating unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals. D. Cash flow by quarter. These documents should be submitted using to envelope system. Bidders are urged to only fasten the documents at the topmost portion instead of binding them. Each document should be ear tagged appropriately. There shall be 3 copies of documents: the original copy, copy 1, and copy 2. The original copies of technical component of the bid shall be sealed in one envelope, and the original copies of financial component of the bid shall be sealed in another envelope. These envelopes should be labeled as original copy of technical component and original copy of financial component respectively. These labeled envelopes shall be sealed into one envelope and label it as the original copy of the bid. The same procedure applies to copy 1 and copy 2. Lastly, the original copy, copy 1 and copy 2 of the bid shall be sealed into one final envelope to be submitted here in conference room, 2nd floor, DPWH, 1st District Engineering Office, Nabunturan Davao de Oro. Bids can also be submitted electronically through electronicbeads_Compostela Valley at dpwh.gov.ph.
Please be reminded, key personnel. There should be no overlapping or no dual functions, especially in project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, and foreman. Tax identification number, TIN, should be indicated in your bid documents. It will be needed during the award of contract. Financial documents should be written legibly. Discrepancies of bid prices between figures and in words will prevail. For discount offers, methodology shall be indicated. Otherwise, the original bid amount will prevail. Bids not addressing or providing all the required items in the bidding documents, especially in the bill of quantities, the bid will be considered as non-responsive. Always check your documents before submitting to avoid disqualification. All bidders should update their PhilJep's contractor's profile application as mandated and in accordance to Section 8.5.2 of 2016 IRR of RA 9184 and the GPPB Resolution Number 15 to 2021. In addition to our bidding documents, bidders are required to include in their technical documents the affidavit of site inspection with proof of evidence of actual visit of the area. This is to avoid problems during the implementation of the project, as per BAC Resolution Number 071 Series of 2023.
Criteria and procedure for eligibility check. Criteria and procedure for eligibility check that are set forth in Section 23 of the revised implementing rules and regulations of RA 9184. All prospective bidders should have updated their CLASA documents. These documents were already discussed by the Secretariat. During the opening of bids, the BAC will check the eligibility result of contractor's profile application from Procurement Service of Central Office and simultaneously conduct the eligibility check and preliminary examination of the technical components of the bids. Bidders who are found eligible and the same time pass the preliminary examination of their technical proposal and financial proposal, the committee will read the bid amount stated in the bid form.
Three-strike policy, introduction and policy objective. In order to establish a fair and transparent system for managing offenses committed by bidders in the procurement of infrastructure, goods, and consulting services projects through public bidding, the Department of Public Works and Highways, DPWH, hereby introduces an updated three-strike policy. This policy is aimed at enforcing adherence to the procurement guidelines stipulated under Section 69.1.I of the 2016 Revised Implementing Rules and Regulations, IR of Republic Act, or AE 9184. Under this policy, if a bidder commits three offenses or acts described as all other acts that tend to defeat the purpose of competitive bidding, they shall be subjected to an administrative penalty. These offenses, acts are further classified into three major categories, as enumerated below.
Classification of offenses that triggers the three-strike policy and exceptions. 1. Withdrawal from the bidding process, submission of a non-participation letter, or failure to submit a bid after purchasing the bid documents. However, the Bids and Awards Committee, BAC, recognizes certain valid reasons for these actions. A. If upon computation prior to bid submission, the bidder determines that their proposed bid price will exceed the approved budget for the contract, ABC. To substantiate this, the bidder must provide evidence. Acceptable proof includes, but is not limited to, a detailed budget estimation or a market price report. B. If the bidder, after reviewing the bidding documents and evaluating the available market options, determines that the required goods or supplies either are not available, or that the available alternatives do not meet the specified technical specifications. Additionally, if providing the specified goods or supplies would require the bidder to incur costs exceeding the competitive and financially viable range, or if adherence to the specifications would lead to a bid price that is not economically favorable, the bidder may withdraw. To validate this reason, the bidder should present an affidavit demonstrating that participating in the bid under these conditions would be financially unsustainable. 2. Submission of late bids without valid reasons as determined by the BAC. Exceptions will be considered under extraordinary circumstances such as force majeure. This refers to unexpected and unavoidable external events that impede or prevent a bidder from timely bid submission, as defined in Article 1174 of the Philippine Civil Code. 3. Submission of patently insufficient bid. A patently insufficient bid here refers to a bid that fails to include or comply with certain mandatory requirements. The determination of whether a bidder committed such an offense may occur as outlined below. A. During eligibility screening and/or shortlisting. I. Submission of an expired certificate of Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System, PhilGPS, registration, platinum membership, or a certificate of PhilGPS certification containing expired Class A legal and financial documents as determined during the eligibility screening. Failure to include certificate of employment, contract agreement among permanent personnel and staff of the firm, and curriculum vitae in the application for eligibility and shortlisting, AES, which are evaluated during the shortlisting for consulting services projects. B. During bid evaluation, failure to submit required bid forms, as outlined in Annex C detailing the complete list of required bid forms. 2. Submission of incomplete, insufficient, or defective documents due to the non-inclusion and/or omission of mandatory provisions and statements for the required bid forms, as per Annex C outlining the mandatory provisions of required forms. 3. Submission of an unnotarized bid securing declaration, an omnibus sworn statement, and joint venture agreement or statements from all the potential joint venture partners, with the exception during the declaration of state of calamity, or implementation of community quarantine or similar restrictions declared or being implemented either in the locality of the procuring entity, PE, or of the bidder. For submission of the bid form, price schedules, bid securing declaration, omnibus sworn statement, and joint venture agreement, JVA, without the name, legal capacity, and signature of the bidder or its authorized representative. 5. Nomination of key personnel of a profession different from what is required by the bidding documents, or, in the case of consulting services, proposing a key personnel whose educational background is different from that required by the TOR. 6. Failure to submit proof of ownership, lease, or purchase agreement of pledged equipment. 7. Failure to submit the required certification of key personnel as per Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012, or, in the case of consulting services projects, failure to submit certifications as required by the terms of reference, TOR. 8. Failure to comply with the required minimum number of key personnel and equipment as stated in the bidding documents.
C. During post-qualification, 1. Participation in bidding for consulting services or good and services contracts by a bidder whose business type category, as indicated on the mayor's permit, does not match or unrelated to the contract being bid for, as determined during the post-qualification process. 2. Participation for infrastructure projects by a bidder whose allowable range of contract costs, RCC, as indicated on the CAB license, does not match with the specific requirements of the infrastructure project being bid for in terms of category, classifications, and size ranges. Enforcement and penalties. If a bidder commits any of the 3 major offenses or acts listed above 3 times within a year starting from the approval date of the resolution recommending the imposition of strike 1, first warning, which is counted as day 1 through day 365, and if these 3 offenses are similar or identical nature, it will trigger the enforcement of the stipulated administrative penalty, suspension from participating in all DPWH procurement activities, and entering into contract with any DPWH procuring entity. Subsequently, as per the procedure outlined in Annex A, this may result in the blacklisting of the suspended bidder, thereby disqualifying the bidder from participating in any government procurement activities for a period of 1 year. In conjunction with blacklisting, the bidder will also face bid security forfeiture and must comply with the enforcement of the bid securing declarations condition. In more severe instances, when a bidder commits another set of 3 similar offenses, or more than 2 sets of 3 similar offenses instances, where more than 6 similar offenses occur within a said 1-year time frame, the bidder may be subjected to an increased penalty, resulting in blacklisting for a period of 2 years. The effectuation for the penalty of either 1 or 2 years, as applicable, will be clearly stipulated in the blacklisting order, with the provision that the duration of blacklisting shall not exceed a maximum period of 2 years, commencing on the date the blacklisting order is approved and issued by the Secretary. In enforcing these penalties, the DPWH emphasizes the need for a clear and fair procedure. When an offense leading to a strike is identified, the erring bidder will be promptly notified by the Bids and Awards Committee, BAC, and given a chance to explain their actions before any final decision is made. This procedure helps ensure a well-informed and fair judgment. Furthermore, if it is suspended due to 3 strikes, they have the right to file a request for reconsideration as per the procedure in Annex A. This gives the suspended bidder a formal way to challenge the suspension, showcasing the department's commitment to due process. in enforcing the three-strike policy. 4. Due process and implementation to ensure that due process is upheld across all stages of procurement from eligibility screening and shortlisting to bid evaluation and post-qualification. It is essential for the BAC and its technical working group, TWG, to meticulously verify the monthly consolidated strike report's updated version at each stage of the procurement process. All BACs are tasked with actively monitoring these updates to accurately track the infractions committed by bidders. Notably, even if a bidder has accumulated 3 strikes, this alone shall not be grounds for ineligibility, disqualification, or post-qualification until the suspension order is approved by the Secretary and officially posted on DPWH website. Moreover, if a suspended bidder has filed a request for reconsideration, the awarding of the contract may be deferred until such request is resolved. This approach ensures the integrity and coherence of our procurement system, reflecting our dedication to a transparent and fair process for all participants. Failure of the concerned DPWH personnel to implement the provisions of this order shall, after due process, make them liable to the penalties prescribed for violation of reasonable office rules and regulation in Rule 10. Administrative offenses and penalties of the 2017 Rules on Administrativeness in the Civil Service dated the 3rd of July 2017. This order shall take effect immediately and shall supersede Department Order Number 17, Series of 2015, Department Order Number 35, Series of 2008, and all other issuances that are inconsistent with this order.
Have all presented clearly through audio-visual, via audio-visual, the requirements of documents and instruction to all bidders. So we will proceed to our next agenda. The question, comments from the bidders and replies of the BAC and other representative of the procuring entity. Is there any question? It's none. None? So, if none, we will proceed to the last agenda, the summary and of proceedings, including supplemental bid bulletin to be issued, to be presented to us by our procurement head, Engineer LB.
Good morning, Madam Chair. All agenda for pre-bid conference are well explained by the Secretariat and the planning engineers. Prospective bidders are advised to visit anytime the field jobs and DPWH website for any issued supplemental bid bulletin. Reminders that the dropping of bids will be on September 17 at 10 a.m. and will be open after all bids have been received and reported. That's all, Madam Chair.
All of the business and the agenda will already taken into consideration. May I know the pleasure of the body?
I move for the adjournment of this conference.
I second the motion.
Been moved by Engineer Carlo Guzman and seconded by Engineer Ruben. Rico Ruben, and no objection. The motion to adjourn this conference is hereby approved.